Hello everybody. Well, I hope you're all doing well. As you can tell, I have a little bit of a voice problem at the moment, but this past 2 weeks has been very interesting. So I suppose we'll go back to not this past week, but the week before, because that's where this situation down here happened. So I have a dehumidifier running, as you can see right here, and well, not this past Thursday, but the Thursday before, water got into the basement. And it got all the carpet wet. It was soaking wet all the way out to the futon here. Kind of curved around here. Kind of went out. And then looped back to the wall there. It came back here. Now, interestingly enough, here in the middle, it was just fine. I think it's ever so slightly higher right here. Well, anyway, the morning that I saw it, I just noticed it right over here in the middle of the camera. So I put a fan on it that morning and went to work. Well, my friend came down and noticed that it was also wet over here. So he proceeded to play his game or whatever, and noticed it was growing. Now at the time it was downpouring very heavy outside, so it was obviously rain getting in, and but eventually it did stop at the shape that I originally mentioned. So that was the water. After that point, came home, did chatting with my parents on what would be the best avenue to go down to resolve this problem. I had some theories on how it actually happened. I thought, well, first, water might be coming down between the fireplace. Maybe it's not sealed very good between the fireplace and the foundation. And the second one was, when I went outside to investigate, the drain spout for the gutter that comes down here in the corner outside was full of water all the way to the top. So what I did is I took a 1/4-inch drill bit and drilled a hole in it, and that water came shooting out of there, reached about 3 feet, so it was definitely under pressure from all the water up above, and but that cleared it out. So after that, vacuumed up all the water down here. I think I did the area 4 times. The first time I did it, I think I got 20 of the half a 5-gallon vacuum shop vac that I have. Because you can only fill it halfway before the ball stops you from using any more water, because of the just the fact that you can't have the water get sucked up into the motor. So we got it. I vacuumed it the first time. I think I got like 20 of those out of here. Second time I did it, I think it was about 8. The third time, I'd say about 5. And the fourth time, I went over it twice. So I guess that would be, I don't know, 4 or 5 times I did the carpet, vacuuming it with the water. And I only got half of a container out of it doing it twice. So it definitely wasn't continuing to come in even during rainstorms. So it's all dry right this moment. But during the whole process, as you can see, I had fans here. I put the fans on little covers just to make sure they don't touch the wet ground. But the fans helped a lot. I turned up the heat, and to make sure the warmth is helping, because of course the furnace is right here. And on the other side of the door, I just have it closed so I'm not being too loud, is the intake for the furnace. So, suck in that moist air, heat it up, and put it back out. I closed off that area just because it's easier to heat this smaller area. Used some space heaters to get it warm, because at the time I didn't have the dehumidifier. But anyway, slowly the fans worked and got it down, but it wasn't perfect. So I decided to go out and get a dehumidifier. This is a GE. It was like the cheapest thing they had at the Home Cheapo. Also mostly because it was one of the only things they had there. They were out of everything else. They had 3 of these left, so I of course took the one in the nicest box. And this thing's been working very well. About every 12 hours it fills up. Lately it's been filling up a lot less, but the carpet is absolutely dry. And so thinking of the different possibilities of what happened, I do believe it is the drain spout outside in the corner here. And that is because when I investigated looking into it, it is filled with roots. There's a rhododendron on the corner outside, and the roots have infiltrated the drain pipe that goes into the ground. So what I did is I sawzalled off about a foot up of the drain out here and did an above ground pipe that's connected to it to lead the water away into the yard. And boy, has that helped, because it has also stopped the water that was overflowing in a certain point in my gutter. It doesn't do that anymore. So it's definitely been like that for a while. I always thought there was something in my gutter up above that was causing the water to pour over. I didn't think it was necessarily the fact that one of these was clogged, because it only did it in one spot. So I was like, well, maybe there's just leaves or something clogged there, but that's not what it was. It obviously was this. And it's obviously been like this for a long time and nobody's done anything about it. So, cut that off about a foot up, put on an above ground version of the same exact thing, to carry it about 6-7 feet away from the foundation, and we've been dry. So even with the rain that has happened here after that rain, I haven't had problems. Knock on wood, but I haven't seen any other problems. So I believe what was happening is the water was coming in through the ground because it had nowhere else to go. It was running right down here, right at the foundation. The drain is clogged. You can see the roots in it. So where else is it going to go but right down to the foundation? So you could physically see water running through here. I pulled up the baseboard, and it's real nice and dry now, as you can see. The concrete's nice and dry. The wood is dry. But you could physically see water running this way. It was very slow, but it was happening. And I don't remember if it was running this direction, but I think outside it somehow was getting underneath this base here and getting to the other side over there, causing the water on that side. Because I don't know what's under here, if this thing is completely concrete or if it's hollow or you know what exactly. But that's what that is. So I took out these two pieces here because I wanted to make sure, you know, I get all the water up that I can. Now thankfully it did not affect any of the walls. The walls were bone dry the entire time. I felt them. They never got wet. It was just the concrete. And these didn't even get wet all the way. They got wet to about there, but that was about it. And this is nice and dry. Boy, this is nice and dry. This was soaking wet. Like if you put your hand on this, your hand would be in water. So big difference there. Boy, I sound like garbage. That's another story. Anyway, so got the dehumidifier. It has helped immensely. So that's fantastic. The fans worked well and everything is back to normal. So today, being about a week and a couple days later, I'm going to get that baseboard put back on there. It's over here. It wasn't wet either. But like I said, I just wanted to open it up, make sure I got air in there to make sure it gets nice and dry. Just like my throat is nice and dry. So, one thing that of interest, if you remember the garage video taking out that wall, they did all kinds of weird stuff. Here's the piece of baseboard that goes in this little section here. And to space it away from the wall, they used cardboard from post office boxes. Like, what the heck? Like, come on. That's what they used. So that's dumb. Definitely will be getting it up there a different way than that. But, yeah. So that is that problem. Water got not all the way to that wall over there, but about right where that outlet is. Or no, actually it got to the foot of that little table. But again, it's all dry now, thankfully. Here's the current standings. It's about 60, I don't know, 2-3 in here. and humidity a little below 50. Now when I first started doing it with the fans, the humidity was about 75, 80. This thing's definitely helped dry out the carpet and keep it warm in here, because you know the dehumidifiers get warm too. And I've just been letting that sit there just to keep monitor of it naturally. So yeah, that's been the first major problem I've had with this house. And thankfully it was easily fixed with the problem outside. Something I definitely should have looked into a long time ago. Something that you may have thought an inspector would have found, you know, if they inspected the place, but I don't think they look at those. So, like I said, no big deal. I got it all fixed, got it cleaned up, got a solution outside, and fingers crossed it's not going to happen again, because at least it hasn't in this past week when it's rained, so that's wonderful. So anyway, I got a lot of stuff to clean up the containers that I brought out just so I could use little covers. Just wanted to be extra cautious. Didn't want electricity touching the water. So yeah, I just got to put everything back. It's mostly over here because, well, yeah, I told you, I closed it off. It's just easier to heat this smaller area. So yeah, I'll get all this put back, and who knows what else will happen. I suppose while you're all here, I just want to share why my voice is like this and everything else. So this past week at work, starting this Monday, me and another manager switched positions. This was a idea from one of the higher ups and stuff, and I mean it was agreed upon between the two of us too before doing it. But it has been incredibly stressful. It is a position that I have done before in the other gentleman's absence, so it's nothing that I haven't done before, but just the stress of it and how many things we need to get to in a day as a company and the employees. It's just a lot to do. So that's been incredibly stressful. This week has really been not fun at all. Let's see, everybody's sick in some way. People have gone to go and get, you know, the Q-tip and stuff like that to try to not use the words. Everybody's coming back absolutely fine. I'm not hot or anything, I just have this throat thing. And so I've been at work, and other people have similar things, but when they go and get their thing done, they come back absolutely fine. So we're just moving along. This has gotten better. There were points in the week when a lot more stuff was coming up, you know, not to be too much there, but you know, when your throat gets dry, you have to cough often. But I haven't had to do that, which is good. It's just dry now, and most people are like that. But you know, it's that time of the year as well for the, you know, typical yearly stuff. Anyway, everybody is fine. Nobody has the topic of the day. We're all doing fine. We're fine. But just dealing with, you know, people not feeling good, a lot of things everybody needs to get to. It's just really stressful. And it's nice to have a weekend and be done with it for a little bit. I know I don't talk about work too much, but I just felt like I needed to say something about it because I don't talk to anybody really other than my parents about it. Yeah, I'm probably repeating myself a little bit, but it's just nice to be able to talk to somebody about it, you all, and just share what's going on for a minute. I'm trying to think of anything else. It's really just been work. It's always work. I don't hate what I do. Don't think that I don't like what I do. I enjoy doing it. I get to drive around and see the city of Seattle, from Bellingham to Olympia to Grace Harbor to Port Angeles to Ellensburg. I get around everywhere, and I love seeing everything along the way. So you know, that's what I really do enjoy, and that's what I'm doing more of now with this switch of positions, which is wonderful. It's just we've had a lot of locations we need to get to do things at in a very short amount of time, and of course, with nobody feeling good, like I said, it's just been hard. I know I sound like a broken record, but that's just the theme. Yeah, so I'm gonna find something to drink and make this sound better, because boy, when I get a million phone calls a day, I sound like this all day. And then I'm gonna come down here and slowly get this put back together. But I should show that right at the end. If not, this video's probably been a little boring, but thank you for watching. I enjoy making these when I have the time, and I enjoy all of you watching, so thank you very much. I'm probably really close to the camera because I feel like I'm moving this thing around a lot, and I apologize. But there's probably going to be another clip after this of everything put back together. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. And we're pretty much back to normal. The carpet's fine. The only thing, well, it is normal. It's back to the way it was before. I did put this shelf over here. This came out of another room where I put something different. But it seems to be a good place to put remotes and stuff so they stay off of other tables. And they're easily accessed from people sitting here or on this futon thing. Either way, it's nice to have it back to normal and not having the water problem.